Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Group Chat. We have a pretty great episode. We have, I don't know, maybe one of my favorite interviews.
It was awesome.
Ferocious.
Yeah.
An incredible artist who is the epitome of what's possible in this new NFT digital art world that we live in. I'm not even going to tell you anything more. It's a really great story. He's a really cool person.
He's 18 and he inspired 3 old guys on a couch.
Yeah, I'm going to go home and I don't know what talking about a pad or something that you can draw into Photoshop. I'm going to go buy one.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we jump into the news. So there's a lot to talk about, especially, I would say, salad. Turns out it's a booming industry.
Is it software? Software is a salad?
Salad as a service. It's SaaS. It's salad. It's multiples are insane. Yeah. So we're going to talk about it. Let's get into it.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
All right, we got a special guest.
Very special guest. Probably our youngest guest that we've ever had.
Maybe rock star? I see the guitars in the back. Must be a rock star.
No. By the way,
the hair.
What's crazy is this rock star just moved to this place today and already has guitar set up in the background.
Wow, first priority, huh?
Yeah.
Had to get the vibe right.
We got Ferocious here on the podcast. Welcome, man. Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, pleasure to meet y'all. This is so exciting. I've just been in my room, like, alone drawing, not speaking. So, like, this is nice.
This is a good outlet.
Yeah, it looks like you got strong Wi-Fi set up and your guitars. The new spot is coming along well.
So, you know, we're basically boomers as far as you're concerned.
I'm Gen Z.
We're definitely not Gen Z.
I'm definitely more of a Gen Z.
Yeah. And so we talk a lot about crypto and NFTs on the podcast, and we're learning as all this is happening. But like, you're in the thick of it. You're 18 years old. You've already had, I think you're the youngest person to ever do a Christie's auction, which is insane. So that means you're rich. And so,
where do you think the new place came from?
Yeah, those guitars got up quick. Yeah. He's like, you know why I moved in so quick? Because I paid someone to move in for me.
He's hired help.
And so, I was reading your story. It's so fascinating because before we get into all the NFT and all the amazing stuff you're doing, like, I'd love to just understand your childhood that would even led you to this path, because like, pretty amazing story that you're living.
And how old are you?
I'm 18.
So he's still in his childhood.
Yes. D could be his dad. I could literally be
healthy in a normal, healthy, like, Ohio relationship. D could have been his dad.
Yes. He's
like, meaning you get married right after high school, totally normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, where are you originally from?
I'm from Las Vegas.
Okay. And so, how did you get into art at such a young age? I mean, we were playing like basketball, and you're a like full-blown superstar artist.
Well, my family, my great-grandma was a painter. She never became famous or whatever. She just loves painting. And she would mail me paint supplies, like fancy paint supplies, and not tell me like what it was. She was just like, these are toys. And no one told me that they're not like toys. They're just like toys. And I was like, okay, toys.
Yeah.
And I used to paint as toys and had so much fun with it and kept doing that. And then I kind of forgot about it for a little bit because video games, and I would just play video games all day, all the time. And then I saw like fan art for video games, and I was like, whoa, people are drawing situations in video games like Minecraft. People are drawing their Minecraft characters, and I was like, I want to draw my Minecraft character. So I learned Photoshop and got a really cheap off-brand graphics tablet just to draw my little Minecraft character.
How old were you when you started doing that?
Oh, I was 12.
Got it.
So you've been gaming your whole life?
Pretty much, yeah.
Got it.
And so, continue, sorry.
Oh, and so I did that, and then I would go to school, and I moved school so much that I didn't really have friends, and I would sit alone at the lunch table, and you weren't allowed to have phones at my school, like at lunch. And I sat there, and I was like, this looks so awkward. Everyone else has like a friend that they can talk to, or they are just like outside doing something, and I'm just here at the lunch table by myself. I don't know what to do. So I would just bring homework and draw like a dinosaur on a skateboard on my homework, or I would draw like a weird skeleton. And then I would get so sad sometimes that I would draw like, I'm sad right now, over the dinosaur on the skateboard. And then I would draw like myself. And then I would draw like the kid in front of me. And then that evolved into like, oh, I can put my emotions in these like silly little doodles, and it can mean more. And that's kind of how I fell in love with art.
That's amazing.
That's
and I think,
great background.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is like, how did your skill level, like, I was on the Christie's site and I saw all the pieces, you sold to them. How did you get so good so fast? Because like your art is pretty complex. It's not like you're not doodling over there. Like you're doing some like, you're doing some pretty like it is some deep like just like I don't understand like walk me through like how quickly did you elevate your skill level and how did that happen?
So at 12, it was like fun Minecraft doodles, little dinosaurs. I would copy people. I would copy like anime I saw, or I would copy like Tim Burton drawings. And then I love Kanye West. So I found My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and I found the cover art, George Condo.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is really cool cover art. Who made it? Oh, George Condo. Who's that? Oh, he's a famous painter. What are famous painters?
Yeah.
And then who inspired George Condo? Picasso. Who's
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
And then I just kept learning and learning. And the concept of that Kanye West, this musician that I really loved, chose George Condo to represent, like, when you buy the vinyl at the store, you're seeing that image. I wanted that. So, like, I would just rewatch videos of him painting, and I'd be like, I'm going to do that. And I would just do it every day until I liked it. And then just as I got older, my standards got higher. So the little circle turned into like a face that looked real. And then real looked boring because you could just take a picture. So why would I draw that? Okay, I'm going to draw a weird distorted face. Oh, I don't feel it though. It just looks weird. It looks cool. How do I feel it? I'm going to write on it. And then just back and forth.
Wow. And you took all that happened that quickly, and then how did you end up in NFT land? We didn't even know what NFT was 6 months ago, and you're sitting here like selling millions of dollars of art.
Can I ask one question about your childhood and upbringing? Because I think it's relevant specifically to our podcast, because we had a guest on, Amit, probably like 2 weeks ago. He created Farmville, and he made the comment that it was tough for him to find friends, so he turned to gaming. And then he became this like super important person in tech, and then he's kind of famous in tech now. And I think what you referenced where you said you didn't have friends in school and then you became this artist, like how's that transition now that you're famous and you're super successful, but years ago you felt like you didn't belong, I guess, is kind of what you kind of reference, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. I cry to my friends now every day about it, or like NFT NYC just happened where there was all these people. I'm walking down the street and someone's like, oh, you're Fiwa, like, let's take a picture. I'm like, you know me? Like, yeah. What? Or you even know what NFTs are? You care about this thing that I care about? What? And so I tell people, like, this means the world to me. 12-year-old me, like, did not like life and I was in a bad household situation where my family told me not to do art. So that was also like a motivator, and it was bad. So like art was also an escape. Like if I made enough money off art, I could leave this abusive household. And so the position I'm at now, like I cry to people. I'm like, this is I never imagined this would happen this fast. I imagine I would be working at like, I don't know, like a fast food place and like, or having 2 jobs, whatever it takes, and just doing art on the side and just doing that. And the fact that this happened and I'm so young and that I get to meet people around the world, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It feels like a dream, honestly.
That's awesome.
I bet your lunch table is full of shit now.
Yeah. You guys turning down lunches.
Yeah, not sitting alone at the lunch table anymore, are you?
Don't ever tell you money can't buy you friends.
It sure can.
But yeah, that's an amazing story, man. It's really inspiring. And like, I'm just curious, like, how did you end up in NFT land? Like, how did that happen?
So I was doing whatever it took at like 15. I would go on Twitter and I would see people post pictures of the fact that they have an apartment or a house off of art prints that they would sell, or stickers, or their own clothing line, just whatever, their own business. And I was like, oh, I want to do that. So I made a website and no one bought anything. And then
I know that feeling.
When I turned 17, people were buying like a $5 sticker or like a $20 shirt that like was really poorly made.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a painting that I put up for $90, and some guy in New York bought it. And then he never posted about it or never like emailed me like, oh, this is cool. Nothing. And months pass. And then I finally get an email where he's like, yo, sorry I didn't update you, but I'm the guy who got the painting. I've had it in my house for months. It's beautiful, but I live in New York. I don't have a lot of space. I like digital assets and I have a lot of them. And I like your art a lot, and I want a lot of your art just digitally, so I don't have to take up so much physical space. Do you know what NFTs are?
Holy shit.
And I'm 17 reading this, like, this is 2020 in like February, March. So like COVID lockdown hasn't happened yet. It's like just about to happen. And he's like, do you know what NFTs are? And I'm like, no. And I Google it and like nothing pops up.
Google's like, oh, we don't know what this is.
Yeah. And I'm like, is he
Look, think about how
scamming me?
crazy
Like,
this is. That's March of 2020.
Yeah. You Google
And
it and nothing
NFTs
pops up.
doesn't pop up.
Yeah.
And think about where we are in the world right now.
It's so true.
it's gnarly. Like, I Google it, nothing pops up. And I was like, I thought he was trying to steal the rights to my art because I was so young that he liked how it looked. And maybe he was going to like buy the rights to my art and try to sell it and make money off of me or something. And I was like, I'm scared. I don't want to. What if I get into NFTs and I lose my favorite characters or like the ferocious name? I don't know. And I was so desperate to get out of my abusive household and just this bad situation that I was like, I will try whatever it takes to get out of here. And I signed up to this website called Super Rare, which had all this art on there. And I go on their account page for Twitter and I see there's other artists that signed up too. And there's an artist named XCopy, an artist named Coldy, and their art is so weird. Like, it's not like a George Condo. It's not like a traditional painting. It's like flashy GIF that's weird colors and grainy. And I was like, this is so weird and cool. There's nowhere else you could buy this except online. And I see like something just sold for $100 on the Super Rare homepage. And I'm like, $100?
Yeah.
That's $10 more. And I just sold a physical thing that took me hours to make. Like,
Yeah.
I can sell a digital thing for $100? Oh my God. So I sign up, I get accepted, and then I just learn through signing up, through following them on Twitter. Then I see like all the recommended tweets of people in the community, and people just accept me with open arms because they're like, oh, you're young and you care about this thing we're doing? Yeah, let's learn about it. Like, what do you want to know? And I'm like, everything.
That's
Yeah, it's
amazing.
crazy.
Where'd you build your audience at? Like, what's the main platform? Like, how do you go from signing up and hoping to make $100 to having a Christie's auction? Like, how did people find out about you?
Just NFTs. Like,
Yeah.
I had 7,000 followers when I signed up for Super Rare.
Yeah.
and they weren't even that active. So like,
But how'd you even
at
get to
7,000
7,000 followers?
I would like redraw cover art and hope it would go viral, or I would
Got
redraw
it.
like a pop culture moment and hope it would go viral, and it never did.
And then how many followers do you have now?
I don't know.
Like hundreds of thousands?
No, I have less than that.
Wow. So you're really like, it's just a huge following in the world of NFTs and people who are fans of this stuff, not necessarily like social media fame in general.
Yeah, no, just like super
Art.
dense NFT. Like
That's awesome.
they're there.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's what I love about this space. Like, there was a moment in this space when like Paris Hilton and all these famous people were coming in this space, and a lot of artists got nervous because they're like, "Oh, like me, I don't have a industry career. I didn't work on a famous movie. I didn't do certain things." So like, we all got nervous, like, "Oh, are they gonna like take this space in a way?" And it was very beautiful to see, like, no, it's an equalizer. Like, no one really cares how many followers you have. Like, if you care about NFTs, then okay, you're accepted. But if you have 10 million and you come into space and you don't respect it, it's kind of like, no, we're not going to buy that. Like, we don't agree.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's amazing. So now, you've proven yourself as a successful artist probably way sooner than you thought you would be. What's next? Like, what's your goal now? You're 18 years old. You kind of accomplished what people want to do in a lifetime by 18. Now what do you do?
That's a really good question. I've been thinking a lot about that and like what being a successful artist means. Like, what is that? Or like, as a little kid, when I was learning about the George Condos or like a Michelangelo, like these remarkable artists, I looked at them as like mythical creatures that were like great and spectacular. Like they were born with superpowers. And I've just been learning like, oh, we're just existing and I just want to learn more. So like next, I just want to learn more and learn to explore and grow with the space and explore the metaverse, explore. I add sound to my paintings because what does a painting sound like? What does a painting like if you go inside of a painting world in the metaverse? What is that? I don't know.
Yeah. So you're not like on the trajectory of like, man, my art's famous. I need a line of dishware at Target.
He almost spit out his drink for the listener.
I'm just asking because like people sometimes
That's
monetize.
such boomer talk.
Yeah, just be like how are you? I'm sure
That's what's
we got referred to you by an agency, so that means they're in it to make money. So they clearly see value in you.
the Ferocious Cookbook.
Yeah, guitar line of guitars. I mean, so like they clearly have a vision for you, and that or you have a vision that can make a lot of money.
Well, I feel in the NFT space, there's just the line of money is like NFTs. Like, okay, well, I don't know, metaverse stuff, a whole character project, a whole exploration of certain things. Like anything can be digital, really. Like a access pass to like a show, that's an NFT. I don't know. I just feel like everything I want to do is just NFT land. And if it's physical, I don't know. I want to do crazy stuff, but I don't know it yet. I haven't explored it.
Do you feel the urge like to do like a gallery show with like physical paintings up on the walls, or does that seem like super lame to you?
I love physical art. I think it's amazing. I want to. I think it's cool that NFTs taught me that I can do it on my own, like my own space, my own everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
In March of 2020, $100 was meaningful to you. Now you're making millions of dollars. So you're 18 with that kind of, money now. Other than the guitars we see in the background, what have you done?
Love that question. Like, what's the?
What have I done?
Yeah, like, what have you? Did you splurge on anything? Was there that?
You got a
big?
Lamborghini?
Lamborghini's always the go-to.
No, I don't know how to drive.
Yeah, driving sucks. Don't worry. That's a good.
Just get a Lamborghini and then pay someone to drive you around it.
Yeah.
When I go to the art store, I can buy like the nice paint that will last a long time and not think about it.
Yeah.
And like nice markers. I don't know. I buy expensive art because I really value art. Or like if an artist is just coming to the space, I will splurge on that because I want to show everyone like, look, I believe in this person so much. Or sometimes I go and GoFundMe and find like queer artists and stuff, and like we'll finish off the donation thing.
Wow.
But for myself, I don't really splurge. Like I'll buy a computer that I need to use, but that's the most expensive thing.
Yeah.
Like no trips, no watches, no anything.
Boomer talk.
No,
Yeah.
think
I
that's
haven't
boomer talk.
gone on any like personal trips because of the pandemic, but
Yeah.
I would like to.
Yeah.
You should treat yourself. You earned it.
Yeah. Go to the
Yeah,
Louvre and
take
spend a
trip.
week.
Yeah, go to like some.
I want to
crazy
go
art
so
museum.
bad. I was just in London for Sotheby's,
Yeah.
and it was my first time ever leaving the States,
Yeah.
and I was like, these buildings are so old. What?
That's amazing.
That is amazing. So, if you were to, if you're listening now and you're like, I want to buy an NFT, I want to understand this space. What's a project that you love that feels accessible to people? That people can like sink their teeth into and be like, oh, this is cool. I appreciate what this person's doing or the community they're building.
I don't know. I feel like all the ones I saw sold out really fast.
Got it.
I mean, what I really loved was the atom bombs that Bobby Hundreds did.
Yeah.
I thought it was really smart and really cool. That's my most recent favorite that I saw.
Okay. That's great.
I just have one last question on my end. What do your parents think, or what does your family think? Like, you have to be like, you're making all this money. I'm sure they can't even begin to wrap their head around what you're actually doing. Like, what do people think?
So when it first started, because it's on Ethereum and cryptocurrency, they thought I was like doing illegal stuff and I was
Yeah,
going to get in
of course.
trouble.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's legal, I swear. And then when it got to the hundreds of thousands, they were like, I don't get it. Like, how did you just make more money than like I've ever made?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. This is crazy. And then it went from I don't get it to like, this is all going to go away. Like, we don't trust this. It's all going to go away. And they started being really mean about it. And then I kind of moved out and we just haven't talked since.
Wow.
Wow. I have two last questions. First, you're 18, so a year ago you would have been 17, and you said you thought you were working to basically make art on the side. Was college ever in the plan, or you were like, I'm going into the workforce and figure out art?
In high school, I was set to like, I was like, I'm going to be valedictorian. I was in all the AP classes and like ready to be in the best college, whatever that is. And somewhere in senior year, I was like, why am I doing this? I could just take the easiest classes and then spend all day working on art and have less homework and like dedicate more time to art. So I just dropped out of everything and worked on art and then haven't thought about college because
now you definitely should not be thinking about
Actually,
college.
now is a
I'm just
great time
saying
to
when
go
you
to
were
college.
17.
Why?
It's just fun.
Just go fuck around.
Yeah, I feel like I want to go to the most fun school and just go have fun.
Or you just live in that college town.
yeah.
Just
You
move
don't
to
want the burden
Miami
of going to
and-
classes.
It's fun. I mean, go and sleep.
And then my last question, you're clearly like a huge deal in the NFT space. Are you participating in any other parts of the crypto economy, or are you solely focused on NFTs?
what do you mean by that?
Like, are you into like DeFi? Are you into staking? Are you doing any of those things?
Do you
Or
hold
just-
any Shibu Inu?
I do not. I think it's all really interesting. I don't know. I just don't go online that much. Like the NFT space is so much that like, I'm like, everything else is a lot.
So
Got it,
more
yeah.
like NFT and then Metaverse interest.
Yeah.
Got it.
Crypto's for dorks.
Crypto's old.
Old.
No,
It's like
crypto's
gold.
so
man. What,
rad.
you hold gold? Boring.
It's so beautiful. Every time if I'm like on the street and I hear someone talking about crypto, I'm always like, what? How can I join the conversation?
That's
Pretty much every conversation. You have a lot of conversations to
Yeah,
join.
don't walk down the street.
Yeah, I recommend not walking
It's so
anymore.
fun, though.
Oh man, dude, you're truly an inspiration. Awesome story, and your personality is amazing, man. You're really enjoying it, which is awesome. We hope we can one day afford one of your pieces.
Yeah, maybe give us, if you got any inside scoop, you know what I mean? You're about to drop something and you're like, yo, this is the one. Just remember us.
Don't remember the old guys.
Yeah.
Those weird 3 old guys that interviewed you.
Just drop us an email.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much.
Congrats. And check in with us if you have any updates. We'd love to hear.
He's going to be multi-millionaire.
Louvre.
Yeah.
He'll be at the Louvre. Very famous as can be. This is the last time we'll be
He's
able
like,
to
last
catch him.
time
No, podcasts are fun. I appreciate this. Like, some people are like, there's too many podcasts. I'm like, no, I love podcasts. Sitting and drawing and doing nothing with your ears to like put on a podcast where you're like, oh, I've been so deprived of communication all day and I can hear people be friends. Oh, this is so great. I love it. I appreciate what y'all do.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate you.
Amazing. Well, good luck with everything, man, and congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats. Yep.
Talk to you soon. Man, I hope my kid ends up like that guy one day.
Yeah, man, great energy.
Imagine your kid's just like addicted to video games in his room. You hear like rumblings that he doesn't really like, not really social at school, and you're like, oh no,
Yeah.
my kid's gonna have a rough go at it. And then like the next summer he's a millionaire. You're like, oh, I'm an idiot.
And compounding millionaire.
Yeah. And
Because the way NFTs work is you get royalties as people trade your art.
And the kid, I mean, he must just have a stack of Ethereum. So that's going to compound.
He's compounding.
Yeah.
He didn't need to go to college to learn about compounding and finance.
He probably still doesn't even know what it means. He just lives it. He's like, oh, money doesn't just grow. Like, inflation? What is that? Okay, let's talk about some news.
Yes.
Here's one. Amazon Go, which is the Amazon, the futuristic Amazon stores.
Yes.
You went to one of those, right?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Very cool. I went to the one in Seattle, which was like right near their headquarters, where you just pick up a snack, pick up anything, and just walk right out.
Was it everything that you I
Yeah.
would think it is?
It's perfect.
Yeah.
You just scan your you download the Amazon Go app,
Yeah.
which you log in through your Prime.
Yeah.
You scan in, and then you just walk out, and it just calculates everything.
And there's no
There's,
mistakes.
There's 1,000 freaking cameras above
Yeah.
that are tracking every movement.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Well, an idea of how to maybe spice it up.
yep,
Collab with Starbucks.
I love it.
Amazon Go is collabing with Starbucks to make a Starbucks Amazon Go store. Not only do I love it, but it also really just feels like, oh shit, you could just have 5,000 Amazon Go Starbucks like next summer.
Yeah, literally 5,000.
You know?
And I think the key to this is like we're talking about this labor shortage that's happening, and a
You're
lot
right.
of this store is automated.
Yeah, everyone's gone.
Yeah.
What do you need? One person in a Starbucks?
Yeah,
Well, you need the person making the coffee.
So maybe two. Maybe
Yeah.
one to watch if there's an error with the system,
Yep.
and a barista.
Starbucks seems kind of slow.
They are so. Especially in New York.
They're considering the volume. You go to your neighborhood coffee shop and they get 10 orders.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours. Starbucks will knock out. If you go sit at a Starbucks and see how many orders they'll do in an hour, it's insane compared to.
Yeah, so I guess that's right. I don't think Starbucks is slow, but I think the demand is so big. I think you need a bigger barista station.
Yeah.
Because in New York, I've waited what feels like an hour between like walking in the door and out.
And then even if you do the mobile order before,
Yeah.
the line's long for the mobile.
for the pickup.
Yeah.
Well, we need to Amazon Go it. I mean, I feel like Amazon Go is actually a technology to be used with pre-existing retailers, not an Amazon retailer.
So how would it work? Would they just have every potential coffee that you could order just sitting on shelves in like some sort of mug that keeps it hot and you just walk out?
No,
that is the
no.
question.
You have
Are
to
you just
make
grabbing your little deli sandwiches?
No, you have to make it still because no one wants something that's just been sitting there.
So that kind of seems like a little bit of not the ideal partnership then, because does it really slow down your time?
Well, I think it's just about creating what a new experience of Starbucks / shopping looks like.
Yeah.
I think if I were Amazon, I would have partnered with CVS. You just walk into a CVS and walk out.
Or partner with 7-Eleven.
Yeah, or 7-Eleven. Starbucks, what
Starbucks is cutting edge as far as a national food place is.
I agree, but if we're making the assumption that the reason it's slow is because it takes too much time to make the coffee,
I'll tell you
what
why.
are you speeding up?
I'll tell you why. I bet you Starbucks technically is probably the only company Amazon could even integrate with. Have you ever been to a 7-Eleven? You think there's any technology there?
Beautiful establishment.
But you know how long it would take? It would take them 5 fucking years to re-engineer a 7-Eleven.
Well, they're both Seattle based, so I'm sure there's some synergies.
They're probably friends.
Hobnobbing at like the Seahawks
A
game.
little hobnobbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just seems like if the goal is to eliminate friction, essentially, Starbucks is one of the most friction-filled experiences.
I don't know if that was the goal. I think it's just a new concept.
But don't you think Amazon Go, if you could say what the main goal of it is to eliminate any friction? You walk in, walk out. There's no wait times. There's no staff.
But I don't think Amazon Go is, we are going to be CVS. Why the fuck do we need CVS? We're not going to give them technology.
Yeah.
We are CVS.
I think that's a mistake.
We are
though.
7-Eleven. But they're not going to get into the coffee business. So it makes here's the thing. I bet you, if you look at an Amazon, one of those 4-star stores or the Amazon bookstore store,
Yeah.
I bet you the foot traffic is good.
Yeah.
I bet you a Starbucks is 10x that,
Yeah.
the foot traffic.
Yeah.
So from an Amazon perspective, Amazon's probably like, let's partner with something we know is going to have basically unlimited foot traffic,
Yeah,
so
just
that
get
more
users.
people can see our experience. Because honestly, if you see an Amazon store, I don't know if you're dying to go into it.
No, I think everyone kind of checks it out once.
Yeah, exactly.
You
And
know?
I think unless it's on every corner and it's the most convenient place,
Yeah.
you're probably not checking it out. So this way you're guaranteeing, okay, Starbucks, you order your coffee, you use this cool technology, and then you're waiting and you go picking up a book or you're picking up a snack or you're picking up whatever they're going to sell in this store.
But do I get in and out of that store any quicker than I would today?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But I think it's just a new shopping experience.
And maybe less staff?
100%. There's probably no cashier.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's definitely a solution for all this lack of workforce
Yeah.
problem. I mean, something like this seems everyone talks about automation, but what does that even mean? Where? What's happening?
Yeah.
This at least feels like something that could theoretically in the next couple years, have a really big footprint.
And isn't it ironic? We would say 3 years ago, 2 years ago, automation was the thing that everyone was so scared about.
Yeah.
And now we're so desperate for it because no one is filling these jobs.
It makes no sense. I mean,
Robots are going to take our jobs. Please.
Please, literally hurry. Can you imagine? I saw a conspiracy theory online, by the way, and I don't know anything about if this even kind of checks out. Not online, on TikTok. That the reason why everyone is saying that they're hiring is because there's a term in the PPP loan
Ooh.
that if you're unable to refill your workforce after COVID, the loan turns into a grant. I don't remember, but I'm just saying it seems like there might be something in there.
Well, that doesn't make sense because as long as you follow the rules of the PPP and you present all your paperwork, they forgive the loan.
Yeah, but what about the SBA?
That's different. I don't know the rules on the SBA loans.
Maybe not. So I'm just saying, look into it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, TikTok's been right before.
They've
Turns
also
out
been
Astro
wrong.
World, satanic sacrifice. So obviously I know that's not the reason, but who would have thought, imagine if 3 years ago, we would have said, oh, everyone's scared of automation. Should we really be scared? Whatever. And someone walked in this door and said, there's actually going to be a global pandemic. And one of the after effects is that nobody's going to want to work because they're so used to
being a lazy piece of shit.
that we're actually going to have a demand for automation to speed up because jobs are not able to be filled. You'd be like,
No way.
what the fuck is this guy on?
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's crazy.
Okay. Well, head into Starbucks, wait the same amount of time, but at least you get to use a fancy experience. I'm down for it. In other tech news, it looks like Apple is speeding up their car project, really shooting for a fully driverless car.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like what? You have $1 trillion in the bank? Well, how much money do they have sitting?
Yeah, probably.
Hundreds of billions?
Yeah.
This thing should be, what are we waiting for here? I haven't seen a Test drive. Let's get to it.
I mean, I think it's been secret that they've been exploring this for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And finally, it looks like it's becoming public that they're building this autonomous car. And it's known as Project Titan.
Okay.
And so looks like they've been looking at it since at least 2014. So it's been a long time. I wouldn't be surprised that they're actually pretty far along on it and they're just not ready to talk about it yet.
Well, let it out. I mean, we see like Elon, you see him building tunnels and every now and then he runs a Kardashian through one of them.
Yeah.
You know that every Tesla is currently gathering data for their self-driving.
Yeah.
Let the secret out.
And I actually think the better story about this is Elon Musk in 2017 was asking for a meeting with Tim Cook when he was running out of money for Tesla, 2017, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And wanted to get acquired because he knew they had the balance sheet for his vision to manifest.
Damn.
And Tim Cook didn't take the meeting.
Didn't take the meeting?
Correct. That's what Elon Musk says. It's all like in interviews.
Damn. Bag drop.
Bag drop, but what you don't think everyone's gonna want an Apple car? In 5 fucking seconds. They're gonna be the number one selling car ever.
How do you not take the meeting?
Right.
You don't need to.
Take the meeting.
Dude,
I mean, it's $1 trillion of market cap that Apple could have added.
It wouldn't have added though.
Tesla powered by Apple. Bam.
You don't think Apple would be a $3 trillion company if they were?
It wouldn't have been
if
valued.
Elon Musk was like co-CEO with
Ugh.
No
Tim
way.
Cook?
Can you imagine?
Do you
They
think
would have fought and got fired.
This is the difference between Steve Jobs' regime and
Steve Jobs would never let Elon Musk, a personality
He would take
that
the meeting.
big.
I think he would take the meeting.
He
He's
would
a
steal the idea.
visionary.
He would steal the idea.
yeah, there you
Probably
go.
true.
That's
Yeah.
why you take the meeting.
Still worth $3 trillion.
Here's the thing: is inside of Apple, Tesla would not be worth $1 trillion. If Apple spun off AirPods, that's $1 trillion business.
Yeah, but you take the fact that Apple has cars on the road gathering data.
You don't think Apple Maps? They have your phone. They've been gathering data for 10
Yeah,
more
but
years.
you don't have LiDAR. You don't have fucking LiDAR.
No matter what, it was a ball drop. By
I'm saying
any
Tesla.
measure, whether you think it's $1 trillion increase, it would have been a net positive acquisition.
Yeah, and I'm saying, I agree. And what I'm saying is Tesla's not gathering like the same thing Google Maps and Apple are. They're gaining from when people have it on autopilot. They're gaining the knowledge of, this situation happened in Nebraska.
I'm not, and look, I think Tesla's going to be multi-trillion-dollar company, like they already are. And I think when Apple releases their car, which is going to have no steering wheel, like theirs is literally like.
Is there pictures?
They just showed basically what the interior would look like. And the idea of this is an example of a canoe. It's a lifestyle vehicle. It's like another electric car startup. But the idea is no steering wheel, no pedals, and interior would be designed around hands-off driving. And so...
No steering wheel, no pedals kind of freaks me out. Like I want the option. What if you're driving down the highway and all of a sudden you just slowly start to veer?
Yeah, I mean, the technology is going to be good enough that one day...
I want to grab it. I want something to grab. I want to be able to...
turn it around.
At least for 5 more years. I need 5 years before I'm ready to
and
let
so
go.
Apple might be playing like we know what we're thinking about is 10 years away.
Yeah.
And so they have the time, they have the cash, and they can wait it out. And they know, by the way, an Apple car drops. I don't give a fuck what it does. That shit is selling.
They'll never be able to even meet the demand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, your AirPod connects, your Mac connects, your TV connects. You're watching it. I mean, think about the consumption of content when the Apple car drops.
So between
I can't
Tesla and
imagine.
Apple, the traditional automakers should all be out of business.
No way, because Ford pickup trucks, fucking electric, are going to crush. They'll sell millions of them.
But don't you think that this is how I see it. I think that they might be late. Like they're essentially trying to catch up to Tesla 4 years too late.
Yeah.
I think that if Apple really comes out with this car with no steering wheel and shit, they're not even going to be ready for that.
But we know that even with all the change that happens, not everybody is. It's like everyone was like, DTC, e-com, everyone's shopping on the internet.
Yeah.
We're about to announce now, Macy's is crushing it. Okay, so DTC, my nuts.
D's nuts.
Yeah, D's.
DTC nuts.
Yeah.
See,
I just don't think.
direct to
I
nuts.
don't think everyone in the country is gonna want an Apple or Tesla. Someone's gonna want a goddamn Ford.
America.
America.
I want my Hummer.
But
Yeah.
there's got to be some car that just like does Volvo
Okay,
disappear?
Hyundai, Volvo.
yeah.
They're
Volvo's
gone.
got to go. Saab.
Someone's
I think they're gone.
Okay.
Sure, but like a Ford
And
pickup
then not
truck.
everyone can exist if Apple and Tesla are at scale.
No,
I
sure.
refuse to believe.
But it's
Agreed.
also the price. Tesla's still a very expensive car.
But Apple, did they say the price of the car?
No, it's gonna be expensive. There's no way.
I think they're gonna do the Prius route.
No way. Their phone is $1,100.
You're
The
right.
car's
Never
gonna be
mind.
$100. They're a
True.
luxury brand.
It's a $400,000.
That's true. It's a $400,000 car with no steering wheel. It looks like a fucking cubicle.
yeah.
Okay, I'm down. I mean, put me on the waiting list. All I'm saying is, what the fuck? You have all the money in the world. At least start teasing us with some stuff. Well, we'll see. All I know is, if there's an Apple car, sign me up.
Jordan and Tim, you guys look like fit guys.
Yes, we are.
You know?
Oh yeah.
See, it's like you guys look like you're in the gym putting in that work.
Oh yeah. No, nobody on TikTok is dragging us.
Yeah. So what's the first thing you do after you get out of the gym? Or
Like-
before the gym?
Liquid IV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I generally tend to lose a lot of water.
You sweat a lot.
Sweat a lot.
Yeah, I have a sweating problem too.
Yeah.
I sweat a ton when I work out. So liquid IV is the best way to hydrate before or after your workouts. Doesn't matter what your workout is. If you're biking, if you're running, playing basketball, whatever it is, you got to stay hydrated. What are your favorite flavors?
Strawberry. 100%.
Oh,
The
okay.
strawberry one is like liquid gold. It is so good.
And Jordan?
I'm going straight for lemon lime every time.
I'm watermelon, to be honest.
Watermelon.
But, you know, they're all fantastic. And they've donated 11 million liquid IV sticks to people around the world. So there's great philanthropy also associated with this brand. And you can also find it not only D2C, but at Walmart.
Wow.
I mean, you have no excuse not to be hydrated. There's Walmarts everywhere.
Yeah.
So if you don't have internet access, go to Walmart
Yeah.
and stay hydrated.
Yeah. You can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the code GROUPCHAT at checkout. That's 25% off when you use the code GROUPCHAT at checkout. liquidiv.com.
Boom. Perfect. Let's get back to the episode.
Okay, Dee had to run out. He had a phone call. We're going to finish up. It's a couple stories on it that I wanted to talk to you about. Number one, Sweet Green, you know, the little salad shop.
Yeah.
IPO'd and fucking exploded.
Yeah, so Sweet Green IPO'd today and is now worth $5.5 billion. They
What
have,
sort of, do you have any other? Yeah.
they have 140 restaurants in 13 states. They did $243 million in the first 9 months. So let's add in, what would that be? 3 quarters, add another 50 million. So call it, let's be generous, 300 million in revenue.
Worth how much? 6 billion?
87 million of net loss. Wow. And they serve salads.
And they're worth what? 6 billion?
5.5.
I mean,
This is where you just got to stop trying to analyze things.
is there like a tech sell here, or this is just
They
a
have a
140?
they have a mobile app, but
I mean, this is
you serve salads.
it's a 140 unit salad restaurant.
Yes.
Well, okay, so let's try to find some reality here. Is this because, like, what do you think they're selling? Like, what's the vision?
They've been getting tech valuations since they started. But shout out, I mean, LA guys that went to Georgetown. So shout out to LA.
It's a great brand. I love the place.
Yep.
I love the restaurant, and I'm not mad at you personally. I'm just confused.
Yeah, so you have, I guess, I don't know what the tech layer is.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a salad shop.
Yeah, you don't have software margins.
Like, it's almost like a joke. Like, we could be like, yo, this deserves a tech valuation. This deserves it. Oh, yeah, you could say this deserves a tech valuation.
Right.
Now it's like, can we say a salad shop?
Yeah, there was also like a big reckoning with D2C. D's
Yep,
nuts.
D2C, these nuts, yeah.
That everyone realized those aren't real tech businesses. And it's basically like persona non grata in Silicon Valley. Like, no one's investing in D2C brands.
Yeah.
But how did this go public and get a tech valuation? I'm not saying it's a bad business. Well, they lost 87 million on 243 million in the first 3 quarters.
It's a to be determined business. I would
To be
say.
determined.
Incredible brand.
Incredible brand, but not tech, and losing like tech, but getting a tech valuation.
And also, what gets me is I feel like their ingredients and stuff are like so like fresh and like I don't.
Like, can you have 5,000 sweet greens? I don't know.
Or maybe you can, but you can't really scale like outside of just the restaurant and going in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's throw it in the bucket of good for them.
Good for them.
All right.
Someone's going to, LA real estate's good. You have new, really, really rich people.
You're right.
that
There's
are
gonna be
gonna
sweet
buy-
greens too, just all over the fucking place. Because now you got to keep that momentum up.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, can I just ask you one more question? What did it go out as? What did it IPO at? Evaluation?
So the stock's up like 80, 90%. So I think it would have IPO'd at like,
Couple billion.
yeah, a couple billion.
Okay. Okay. And then the other big story that I think we should mention is the metaverse. So I'm still pretty mind blown. I haven't had a chance because we've been podcasting to really wrap my head around the fact that this young man that we had on the show earlier Googled NFTs a year ago and nothing came up.
That's mind blowing.
And so now not only can you not go anywhere without hearing the word NFT, but I would say kind of the continuation of that, same thought is this metaverse stuff. All of a sudden Facebook's, changed their whole name and everything to Meta. And I think for me, I don't know, maybe a little boomery here. Like my mentality is kind of like, okay, I get that all the gamers are going to love it. That makes total sense. So like I see the connection between like Travis Scott performing in Fortnite, and then that could be a whole world. Totally get that. But like, is it really a place for like big brands and like corporate like brands to play in?
So if you think about all the Fortune 100 companies, especially the consumer facing one, Nike has clearly decided that Metaverse NFTs is going to be part of their future. And I was thinking about when we made fun.
We'll say why. What'd they do?
Okay, so they're creating a virtual world on Roblox where you can play dodgeball and buy like Nike apparel in the metaverse and
like
Roblox.
Play games and stuff and be an athlete.
So what I was getting at was that we always used to make fun, like, why the hell did Nike hire the CEO of Servicenow, which is a software business?
You're right.
And we were like, that person doesn't get brand, that person doesn't get consumer. I think they made the right choice.
Yeah.
Because Nike would not be doing this stuff if that guy wasn't the CEO.
And what do you think, if you had to guess, and we're completely guessing, but like what that happened, 2 years ago?
Right.
What was the conversation then? There's no way they knew.
I don't know if they knew. No one knew the metaverse and, NFTs were a thing 2 years ago.
They just knew like it will be a tech world.
Correct. I think they just were like, everything's going to be technology related.
Yeah.
We're so out of the loop. We see our digital sales growing because I think they do more in e-com now than they probably do in retail or whatever.
You would
wholesale.
think so, or soon, yeah.
And that is such a bold move that they hired that CEO. He was a freaking SaaS software CEO.
Where'd he come from again?
Servicenow.
Which is a what?
Good question. I don't know. But I know it's not selling sneakers that Michael Jordan made famous.
Yeah, it's so true. Oh my God. Okay, well, I'll just say, like, I hate to say it, but these types of things really convince me, and I think probably a shit ton of other people, of like where it's going. Like, I think it's kind of like one of those things that you just have to, it has to make sense to you, and you have to see brands that you understand do it, and then you're like, oh shit, this really is something huge.
And if you think about how behind everyone else is, because they don't have a tech CEO.
Yeah. Oh my God. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
And even like, think about how scary it was for brands, big brands like Macy's and them to pivot to direct to consumer. That's already a whole different team and a whole foreign language. But this is like a really big jump. This is bigger than just like brick and mortar versus direct to consumer. This is like you have to literally almost become like a gaming company.
Yeah, it's almost, if you don't have some sort of gaming NFT. Well, Nike also knows if you want to be relevant in 10 years, you have to get the 14 and 15-year-olds. Like when I was 14 and 15, watching Michael Jordan and then begging my mom to buy me Nikes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And now the 14-year-old's on Roblox.
Here's the question. You just said that probably, or if not, then soon, Nike does more on direct-to-consumer than wholesale.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a day where Nike sells more digital goods than physical goods?
I think their CEO believes so, which is why he's doing this.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that group chat, episode 3028, where we're like, Nike officially just surpassed physical goods with.
And it kind of makes sense because if you're in a village in a third world country, you can't afford a $175 Nike, but you can afford a $3 hot shoe in the metaverse.
In this future that we're creating, does everyone stop giving a shit about their real life? Like, is everyone super unhealthy, smelly?
I think everything elevates.
Really?
I think you're going to have the same person who's sitting in the metaverse all day.
Yep.
Then they want to go outside and be dripped in Louis Vuitton.
Yep. Okay. I like that future.
Yeah, that's where I think it's coexisting.
The escape future scares me. Like, imagine you can play like sports in the metaverse all day at the Nike headquarters and get your new Jordans and whatever, and then you take your goggles off and you're just like, oh, time to go to bed.
And the other question is, how much did the pandemic accelerate this? Did we bring 15 years of the future in 1 year?
I think it's something that severe.
Right?
Yeah, I do.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
I don't think if there was no global pandemic, we'd be talking about the metaverse today.
No, I think at least 10.
And I don't think crypto would be where it is.
No chance. Did GameStop happen during the pandemic?
GameStop was January of this year.
Yeah. It was?
Yeah.
God, my perception of time is fucked.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. But if Nike's jumping in, not only are other people already working on it, but now I bet with this announcement, so many companies are looking for hires today.
And then you can also make the kind of question, is this the equivalent of Nike signing Michael Jordan when they did? Because Nike would not be Nike if it weren't for Michael Jordan.
Yeah, probably. I mean, we'll see. Time will tell. Who's like the AWS of this world? Is it AWS? Like who's going to make billions upon billions with like hosting or the engines for these things?
So there's a handful of crypto protocols that are basically trying to be the AWS of this new world.
Got it.
That's fully distributed and decentralized.
Someone's going to win big.
It's also scary if you're Web 2.0, the pace that this is happening.
Yeah.
Especially when we know no one's going back to work.
Yeah.
And now you have this entire generation of people that, as we see by the data, would rather play in this space than go get a regular corporate job.
Yeah, why would you?
Like who's working at an insurance sales company in 10 years? That's 23.
That's 23, nobody.
Right?
No chance. I feel like I feel like it moved so fast in the last year that I feel like it created a gap.
Yep.
And there's like the old world people and the new world people. Like you heard how Fewocious talked about it. He wanted to go to college. He wanted to have all those things. And he was like, why the fuck would I do that?
I have a great story. So I went and got a salad down the street.
Was it a $6 billion salad by chance?
No, it was a $10.50 salad.
Broke.
And it's a place I've been going for 14 years. The same waiters. Okay. I'm picking up the salad and he's never asked me. He goes, what do you do? Literally known him for 14 years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm in apparel. I do some stuff in technology.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, great. Can I show you something? And I was like, sure. He shows me his Coinbase wallet. And he's like, I bought $1,000 of Shibu and it's worth $500 now. How do I get it back?
Wait, it's worth $500?
Yeah, so he lost 50%. He's like, how do I make that back? And I was like, I don't know how you make that back, but like, how'd you even get into Shibu?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, my friend told me. And I was like, look, it's pretty risky. I was like, Shibu doesn't have any value. It's just a meme. And he's like, yeah, I understand that. And I said, he's like, what should I buy instead? And I was like, listen, this is like so volatile. Like at the time, Bitcoin was 60 something thousand. I was like, in 2 weeks, it could be 30,000.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks, it could be 100,000.
Yeah.
And if anyone tells you they know which way it's going, they're lying to you.
Yeah.
So just like get ready to stomach the volatility if you want to play in this space.
Yeah.
He goes, I want to do it. And I said, And then
bro.
he started just grilling me on like what to do.
This is a waiter, you said?
Waiter. Known him 14 years. He's been at the same restaurant. And I was just like, okay, if you're really pushing me, like you want to be safe, just do Bitcoin and Ethereum, put like a non-meaningful amount of money each week and don't worry about the price. And he goes, what do you mean? He goes, what if it goes down in a week? I was like, it could.
Yeah.
And I was explaining him to the concept. And then I was like, do you know who Warren Buffett is? And I explained to him like the time in the market versus timing the market.
Yeah.
And he fully understood it. He goes, okay, I got it. I was like, you have to have a 10-year outlook. And but his concept, he was devastated that his Shibu went from $1,000 to $500.
Yeah, that's scary. Just meaning like, if that is meaningful, then you shouldn't be putting it in Shibu.
Yeah, and that's my point. If the people that are in this game, it's way different than what we think. I don't think it's
a
all
house
these
of
like
cards.
I don't think it's all these like super techie guys. Like
No.
this is like my third waiter interaction.
Yeah. I mean,
with
I would say,
crypto.
yeah, the majority of the trading volume is waiters. That are like, I don't fucking know. I have $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty. There's literally never. I mean, I don't know how to say this right, but I would almost argue that like, at no point in my parents' lives or mine, I'll speak for those generations, where who the fuck knows what like next year is going to be like. Just mean like it feels like this stuff could all crash at any moment, like completely. It feels like we could be at war with China. It feels like it just feels like anything, or like everyone could just be like in the metaverse and be rich.
Yeah. The pace that things are changing, and it's basically life before 2020 March
Yeah.
will never come back.
Yeah. No, it's gone.
Right?
Yeah. It's totally gone. Because I think you would have seen it snap back harder, like, like this summer. Like, yeah, you saw like people want to go to festivals and shit, but like there wasn't this like return back to pretty much normal.
No. I mean, I think office is the obvious one. No one wants to go to an office.
No.
It doesn't even matter what industry anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Even traditional financial service businesses, they're only 2-3 days a week in the office. Like all those buildings on Avenue of the Stars in Century City, all max 2-3 days. And those were like guaranteed 5, if not 7 days a week, people were there.
And those are just like office people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those aren't like young kids that are like, yeah, that's tough. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Okay, winners, losers, content. Anand, who is the biggest winner of the last week?
So we've talked about the pace of innovation in the digital world.
Yep.
But it's also happening in the real world. I saw an article this week that they're on the verge of having an Alzheimer's vaccine.
I saw that.
That's crazy.
That means like they'll be able to vaccinate against it or reverse it.
I think vaccinate against it. So I don't know if it reverses it if you've already had it, but
that's insane. Do you know what causes Alzheimer's?
I think it's a lot of genetics.
I mean,
I'd line up
all day, right?
Yeah, there's no downside. I guess the anti-vaxxers, will the anti-COVID vaxxers go get the Alzheimer's vaccine?
Good question. I bet they will.
I bet they will too.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's
especially if it's in your family.
Debilitating disease.
It's so terrible.
Yeah.
Especially imagine if like your grandpa, your dad, like imagine if it was in your family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Well, go us. That's just longer we can live to be on the metaverse.
Yeah. I think companies like Moderna, it's not a Moderna vaccine, but I think the pandemic, the one benefit, even though there's so much tragedy, was that I think medicine got really advanced because we were forced to figure this out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the world can't open.
Yeah, especially vaccines, right?
Yeah.
I do think like probably I feel like over the next like few years, you'll see like a lot of new vaccine things.
Right. So if
Shoot me
you
up.
didn't get the COVID vaccine, you can't get the Alzheimer's vaccine.
Deal.
Fine with me.
Okay. I like it. Here's my winner. My winner is hip hop. Drake and Kanye have squashed the beef. They're back together. They were in a video, smiling, laughing. Looks like everything's all good.
And Dave Chappelle was performing?
Dave Chappelle was performing. It looked like they were at Drake's house, I think.
Yeah.
They are back together. And I've heard One of the things, so I think like Jay Prince was like part of getting them back together.
I saw the hostage video. Did you?
Yeah.
That was a hostage video, right?
That was a hostage video.
This is Jay Prince and Kanye. Kanye looks like he's reading off a teleprompter.
Yep. He looks literally like a terrorist hostage.
And Jay Prince at the end just says beautiful, right?
Yeah. I don't fully understand like Jay Prince's, like what the power exactly is, but it must be real.
I don't get it. Because if you're Kanye, if you're Drake, if you're any of these people that are so freaking rich,
Yep.
you can hire Navy SEALs as security if you really want it.
Yep.
So Jay Prince has more power to threaten your life than like piercing Navy SEALs. What am I missing here?
I don't know, man. Maybe he has his own Navy SEALs. The Jay Prince Navy. I don't know.
Like if we could protect our presidents, these guys are rich enough
They don't have beef with Jay Prince. You know who I'd never heard Trump say anything bad about? That's what I thought.
Can you give the background on Jay Prince?
I don't really know it. I just know that he's a Houston, OG, legendary, member of the community. He started Rap-A-Lot Records, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And he is just, I don't know. He's just this OG in the hip hop game, and
he introduced Drake to Lil Wayne, and basically that's how Drake got put on.
Yeah, I believe so. Yep. Yep.
Or was it his son? I forget.
I think it was his son.
Yeah.
And but there's something like it's kind of pretty widely just accepted that like if you're in with him, you're good, and if you're not, you're not. And
because all these guys already travel around with crazy security.
Yeah, and they already have like Kanye has like he's very well connected in the Chicago. Like Kanye's not friends with a bunch of Kid Cuddies.
Yeah, and you're not forced to go to the hood if you're Drake. Like we've seen Drake out, the security's nuts.
Yeah. I think it's also just like a culture thing, like a
cool points.
Yeah, and it's like it's more fun. Like meaning you probably, you enjoy yourself in Houston and all these different places with that level of like you definitely want him on your side. But it was, I mean, I'll tell you what, the whole Drake and Kanye reconciling is the best marketing ever for Jay Prince. Yeah. I don't think anyone won more than Jay Prince in this situation. It looks crazy.
It looks like a mafia movie. Like he's the guy that controls rap. And if you ever doubted it, here's proof.
With the two biggest celebrities
that hate each other's guts.
Yeah.
And it's no secret that they hate each other's guts. They're in public interviews talking shit about one another.
Yeah. Even in the official photo of Drake and Kanye together, it was Drake, Kanye, and Jay Prince. So props to him, man.
Yeah, it's scary.
Whatever I can do, I can never be helpful. Just I'm on the good side. What about loser? Who's your biggest loser of the week?
Antonio Brown, receiver for the Buccaneers, just got caught that he has a fake COVID vaccine.
Damn it. How common do you think that is in pro sports? I feel like a lot.
I'm hearing from people in sports that it's a lot more common than we think.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you think it's as easy as just like, yeah, show us your card. Right? I mean, how else can you prove it?
Yeah. I mean, I get it should be in a register, like the way we have it in our Apple Wallet. Like you only get that if it comes from the city, kind of. Like Rahman's company is working with the city to make sure the records, but I don't know what checks the NFL is doing.
But you gotta believe there's some shady doctors down in Tampa.
It was his chef that snitched, Antonio Brown's. So he must not have paid him.
Yeah, what a snitch. Because who really cares? Don't snitch on the guy.
No, but Antonio Brown's been notorious for not paying his employees, stiffing them. So if you got stiffed,
snitch.
Snitch, right? Yeah. If you cooked all this food.
But there's got to be a doctor, like, I mean, don't you think, like the same way there was like weed doctors before weed was recreationally legal that would just say you had whatever, you had nausea and back pain. Here's a weed prescription. There has to be doctors that are legit saying you had vaccines.
But isn't it still, you can only get the vaccine at like a CVS or like a...
Doctors can do it.
Oh, they can?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm sure there's doctors that just, boom.
I've heard actually a story, now that I think of it, of a doctor that apparently will like literally you go into the room, you sit down and they will like...
Squirt it out?
Squirt a fake, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I've heard it's like $1,500.
Like even if someone checked the cameras, they would show that it looked like they got you.
Or they just inject you with water.
Yeah.
And dispose of the vaccine dose so they know that dose got administered.
Yeah, that has to be really common. Antonio got popped.
Yeah.
Okay. My
Do you
loser.
think Tom Brady got the vaccine? TB12, the most cautious person to put
No, I
anything
don't.
in his body.
I don't. And I also think that for players like that, like LeBron or Tom Brady, they don't double check that
No.
card.
There's no chef stitching on Tom Brady.
No, they're well paid. And I don't think the NFL, I think literally the chef could be like, yo, he didn't whatever. And they'd be like, yes, he did. Shut up. Okay, my loser is also hip hop culture. So hip hop culture was my winner and my loser because yesterday, rapper Young Dolph was murdered in Memphis, his hometown. And it just seems like rap, I've said this probably 50 times on this podcast, but it seems like rap and rap culture is more dangerous than ever.
Yeah.
Like it just seems like rappers get shot or arrested or, in the case of someone like Juice WRLD, overdose. Like it's dangerous. But anyway, sad story. I mean, he got shot also like a couple years ago out here on Hollywood and Highland at the Shoe Palace.
Oh, that was him?
That was him.
Wow.
And then shortly
that was
after,
like right by the hotel, right?
Yep, right in front of the
That's
hotel.
him?
Yes.
I remember that. Like that was a big deal here.
Yep. He got shot and had to have surgery. And then shortly after that, he was in a armored car in Charlotte and they shot at it over 100 times, but it was bulletproof. So I don't know what was going on, but.
And he got shot in his own hometown?
Yeah, he stopped to get some cookies at his favorite cookie shop.
That's crazy.
And they just ambushed him. So, I don't know. It just.
So Jordan on the pod here was telling me like how much Young Dolph meant to him.
Mhm.
I didn't know he was that big.
Yeah, he was pretty big. He just wasn't like crossover into your world big.
Yeah.
And mine either, just
Yeah.
to be honest. I didn't really listen to him. But, in this internet like age, you can be huge without really crossing over.
That's also pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
That like he probably never had a radio song that went crazy.
Did he?
Probably had a couple.
Maybe two. But like there's probably one song, if you heard it, you'd be like, oh yeah, I've heard this before.
Yeah, he played me one yesterday and I was like, I'd heard of it.
Yeah, but probably one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sad story. Okay. Content. What's your content recommendation?
My content is actually to read up on the Constitution DAO. Have you heard about this?
I've heard about it, but I don't know anything more than just hearing people talking about it.
Yeah, so I think it's one of the most fascinating things I've seen in a long time. So Constitution DAO is basically a group of people decided to raise money to buy a rare edition of the Constitution, the U.S. Constitution. So Sotheby's is auctioning today. So by the time this pod comes out, they will have auctioned this rare edition of the Constitution.
What does, just real quick, like the Constitution had like copies?
It sounds like 13 from what I read.
Okay, so it's like maybe one of the 13.
That's what I
essentially.
think.
Okay, got it.
It's rare.
Yep.
It's not the only one, but
Like original signatures?
I think so.
Okay.
So Sotheby's expects this to sell for 20 million in that range.
Okay.
So this group of people, and I'm not sure if they're public or anonymous, basically went viral on the internet via memes.
Uh-huh.
So they used Nicolas Cage from you remember National Treasure, that movie where he was like finding all these rare artifacts?
Yeah.
So they used him. They used this tagline, WAGBTC, we all gonna buy the Constitution.
Okay.
And that's how crypto world works. Remember I was talking about DeFi, like it was Sushi Swap versus Pancake Swap, and they
Yep.
would do pancake memes and sushi memes.
Yep.
That's how you go viral. And 3 days ago, this DAO, so a DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. So
Uh-huh.
basically create a company without anyone really being like centrally owning it.
Yeah.
And that's what people think the future of company formation is going to be.
Yeah.
Like you're all going to have DAOs. Like we shouldn't have to buy stock in the stock market to be an Apple shareholder.
Yeah.
Like we should have DAOs.
Yeah.
And 3 days ago, they had raised $4 million. So pretty short of where you need to be.
Yeah.
By yesterday, they were already at like 27, 28 million bucks. And people, it's essentially a donation. Then you get a governance token that you're like, get a vote on where the Constitution can be, vote on where it's placed, whenever you want to sell it. And it's just so damn cool that people decided to use crypto to show real world purposes, and they pulled it off via memes.
Like, are they gonna buy it?
Yeah, they're the money's there. The auction. So in the morning, they said in 11 hours, we're getting this Constitution. We all going to buy the Constitution.
So we just don't quite know yet.
Yeah,
But
most likely. I'm sure if yesterday they had 27 million, the number's much higher today.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's really cool.
And so people are just going to vote and like move it around and stuff.
I guess,
Like it'll be
yeah.
in a museum. It'll be,
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. Okay. That feels cool. That feels like the future.
Yeah.
Okay. My content, you know what? I'm going to go book. My content is I'm almost done with $1 Billion Loser, which is the book about Adam Newman.
Okay.
And it is fascinating. I mean, I think if I'm being honest, if you watch, there's an Adam Newman like documentary, I think on, I don't remember, maybe Amazon, maybe even Hulu or something. That was really good and told like most of the story, but the book is just way more detailed. But yeah, I mean, the guy was just fucking insane, or is. I mean, I don't. What's he up to? Did he find shoes?
I don't know.
Okay, so he got, what was his $1 billion exit?
I think he cleared north of $1 billion, if not 2.
So not only is he nuts, but also like can't fully hate on him, because I would say he was like a little early on the like selling something that didn't make sense. Like the guy, like literally, I mean, we all know this, but he was essentially running a real estate business, but he was so good at selling the dream of what it could be, like to the point of literally like staging, like looking like the members of WeWork in the physical location were having more fun when like investors came by.
So if you had to say, what percent is delusion versus con man? Or is it all he was just delusional that he believed himself? Or he knew the con was there?
Yeah, I think so I think it's like a spectrum, right? And I think if like Theranos, I think Theranos started as delusion and dipped into con. I don't think WeWork went quite that far, but it was very close. Like, I think he legitimately convinced himself that this was true. Where Theranos, the thing that gets me is you literally had to like take blood samples, send them to a lab, and say they were used in your machine.
Yeah,
like you had to straight up.
Theranos was an actual con because they falsified results.
Yeah, but
WeWork
also like
was
Adam,
just a bad business
yeah, it's true,
at those valuations.
and just an incredible salesperson.
Yeah,
But he
didn't-
would lie.
he didn't do anything illegal, did he?
Not that I've read technically yet. He would lie and say that they were like profitable and stuff, but not to investors. He didn't like fake statements, accounting. But he would lie and just tell people that. But you know,
No, but what he did, I remember, is at the height of the fraud or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
It was like EBITDA before rent. What's your only expense
yeah,
as a real estate holder?
yeah,
Is your rent.
yeah. But hey,
And-
not illegal.
Not illegal.
Yeah.
He said it. It's above rent.
Yeah.
Here's all the profit. That's basically revenue without costs, right?
Yeah. It just blows my mind. It blows my mind that like because of things like Amazon and Facebook and whatever, like people, and it's still like this, it's even crazier in the sense of like, if you look at NFTs and all that stuff, but people will just believe if you have a good enough sales story, it doesn't really matter.
I mean, if you think about it, look, there's a level of delusion to build a great company, and every great company has moments when it's like make or break.
Yeah.
So Elon, 2017, ran out of money.
Yeah.
And had he failed, everyone would have said Elon was a fraud.
Yeah. That's
Right?
true. Yeah.
But
100%.
instead, he figured it out, and now he's $1 trillion company, and he's off to Mars and amongst other things.
Yeah. Beefing with Bernie Sanders.
Because if you think about how many people doubted Elon and Tesla,
Still.
I
mean, really, but yeah.
but at that time, there were so many shorts on Tesla.
Yeah.
They're like, there's no way this guy's going to pull this off.
Yeah.
That's like that's how thin it is, I
It is
think.
true. Yeah, I agree.
In making like great entrepreneurs and great companies.
I agree. Yeah, but it's just a fascinating story. It's also a fascinating like psychology, experiment. Like I said, when you have exactly that, you have Elon here, you have Adam Newman here, you have Theranos here, You have Billy McFarlane. Like there's like this spectrum. I don't think they're all so different.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, people when Zuck was probably pitching, I'm going to have the whole world connected. They'd be like, "Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, I mean, they were saying in this book like there was people that invested in Facebook at like a $5 billion valuation, and people thought it was absurd.
Oh yeah, I think was it Yahoo had $1 billion or $2 billion acquisition. Everyone thought they were crazy.
Yeah.
For Facebook, and he turned it down.
Yeah, and people thought he was crazy too.
Yeah, and then DST, which is a firm in Silicon Valley, was investing at Facebook at $10 billion when a private company. Everyone thought they were crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Okay, well that's my content. If you want a good read, check it out. Thank you guys for listening. We will be back on Sunday. Bye bye.